Hello, David Dunford here. Joining me is our wonderful foreign exchange student Fiona. I guess it's my turn to get personal. I know Debbie in the past has kind of opened up with some things, and there goes Fiona. so, thank you for joining me for a few seconds. Um, so, what she's talked about in the past with evaluation versus judgment. That's what I want to talk about, because for me that has kind of hit home and been pretty illuminating. And when we think of judgment, we think of like, oh, that person isn't pretty enough, or that person isn't smart enough, or has enough money, or whatever. We kind of think of that as typically being what judgment is, or judging other people. But I think it's more widespread than that with what we've talked about recently of evaluation versus judgment. When I put something out there, when I send a message to somebody, send something, or say something, get up in front of people and say something, a lot of times I'll worry about how that message is received. I'll stew about somebody taking it the wrong way, or somebody thinking that, like at church sometimes I have something to offer, and I get up in front of people and say something, or I make a comment, and I worry that they think, well, I'm commenting too much, or this or that, or and even in sending something out online, I worry about how that's received, and that thinking that they took it in the wrong way, or that I offended somebody or damaged. I mean, relationships are really important to me, and that's a good thing. It's good that I think that's a good thing that relationships are important to me. But at the same time, with all these things, I'm making a judgment. I'm making judgments that so and so is thinking that I'm doing this, commenting at church too often, or that somebody online is actually taking it in the wrong way. So I don't know at all that that's happening. I don't know that they're taking it in the wrong way. I don't know that I'm offending anyone or anything like that. But when I worry about that and stew about that, that's really what I'm doing, right? That I'm judging that somebody is thinking in a certain way, rather than just giving them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they're not thinking that at all. Maybe they're just like, oh yeah, that's a good thought that he's putting out there, or maybe it just wasn't taken in the wrong way. It wasn't offensive, But here's the deal: if recently, presenting this idea of, instead of judging what people are thinking or how they're responding to what you're sending out there, evaluate. So step back and say, okay, was that a good step that I made? Was that something that was valuable for me to do? Was that something that was inappropriate? Was that something, was there anything wrong with what I did? Could I have improved something? Was there something in there that I could have done better? That's evaluation. Instead of like, oh, I hope that was taken in the right way. I hope people thought that was good, or I hope they liked it, or that's judgment. So this has just been a huge thing for me to think about this, and it's provided a pathway forward to improve this area, so that I'm not worrying or stewing about things that I don't really need to worry or stew about. I can just evaluate, and thus by doing that, I can improve and make adjustments until it gets better and better and better. Now that is worthwhile. Whereas worrying about, was this taken in the right way? Was it offensive? Was it, are they thinking this? Are they thinking that? That's not effective. That's not very, that's not helpful for me or anyone else. It's much more effective, it's much more helpful to go through the evaluative process. And I just feel like this can be helpful for so many of us in our businesses, in our lives, instead of worrying about what other people are thinking or how it's being taken, or just assuming, that because somebody didn't... I sent something out the other day, and because I didn't get the response that I was expecting, then I just, I started feeling like, well, maybe there's something wrong. But don't go down that path. Instead of going down that path, think about, what did you do? Was there anything wrong with what you did? No, what I sent out was valuable. I felt good about what I did. Well, that's the course that you should go down. Instead of worrying about, did they take it the wrong way? You should think about, was there an adjustment I could have made to make it better? With what I did, was there anything that I should have done differently? That's the evaluative process. That's how you're going to become better and more effective. And it's just a much better way to go. So, awesome. Well, thank you, Whit. I saw that you gave us a like there. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining me. I hope you've gotten some value out of this, and I will talk to you later.